Coming up on News Live at 6, the controversial Columbus statue in downtown Syracuse is back in court. It's a 5-year saga that may be coming to an end.
Plus, under arrest, former President Donald Trump
surrenders to officials in Manhattan. We have team coverage of this unprecedented moment in America.
And we're live here in New York City to break down the protests that occurred earlier today following former President Trump's indictment. CitrusTV News Live at 6 starts right now.
Now, CitrusTV News Live at 6 starts with breaking news.
Well, it's the first time in history a United States president is facing criminal charges. Good evening, I'm Nicole Aponte.
And I'm Walker Simmons. We begin tonight with breaking news. The 45th president is now a criminal defendant. Donald Trump is heading home to Florida from Manhattan tonight after appearing in court on 34 felony charges. We turn now to team coverage. First from CitrusTV News political analyst Luke Radel. Luke, let's get right to it. Why was Trump arrested?
Nicole and Walker, Trump is being accused of falsifying business records to cover up alleged affairs. Further, prosecutors allege Trump did it to help him win the 2016 presidential election. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg alleges the former president, quote, repeatedly and fraudulently falsified business records to conceal crimes that hid damaging information and unlawful activity from voters in the 2016 presidential election. Here's the alleged timeline laid out by the Manhattan DA. In a 2015 Trump Tower meeting, the CEO of a media company met with Trump and agreed to find negative stories about him. But instead of publishing these stories, the CEO, David Pecker, went and told the Trump team about those stories so that they could pay them to keep the sources quiet. It's a scheme that the DA calls catch and kill, and he mentions 3 different cases of this allegedly occurring. Then, to keep the payments secret before the 2016 presidential election, prosecutors say Trump falsified business records to make the hush money payments look less suspicious. Trump surrendered to authorities in Manhattan and was officially placed under arrest. However, he's not your average criminal defendant. Trump did not take a mugshot and was not handcuffed before the arraignment. Before entering the courthouse, Trump sent out a message to supporters on Truth Social, writing, quote, heading to Lower Manhattan, the courthouse seems so surreal. Wow, they're going to arrest me. Can't believe this is happening in America. Make America great again. Now, notably, Trump pled not guilty in court today, and his campaign has even started selling shirts with that message on it. But if a jury did find Trump guilty per state criminal code, he could be sentenced to a maximum of 136 years in prison, 4 years for each of the 34 counts. Nicole?
Thank you. We'll come back to you soon, but we're continuing our team coverage tonight with John Perrick. Now, John, you've been in New York City all day at these protests. What can you tell us?
Guys, good evening. A much quieter scene here outside of the Manhattan Criminal Courthouse where former President Donald Trump was arraigned. Earlier today, though, protests galvanizing the square behind me, both pro and anti-Trump protesters coming to express their opinions following the indictment of the former president. A historic and hectic day in the Big Apple.
It's about having a voice.
I think it's important for people to come out to these events and see for themselves what's actually happening.
What clearly is going on is an attempt to prevent the American people from being able to decide the future of their own country.
This morning, protesters met outside of the Manhattan Criminal Court to express their opinions on former President Trump's indictment. And there were no shortage of Trump supporters, some more extreme than others.
Let the people know who are the real criminals, who are the ones who are supposed to be in there behind bars, not Trump.
But counter-protesters were also making their voices heard.
It's a danger to democracy. I mean, the worst thing that this ex-president has done is putting democracy in doubt.
Trump's visit to court today is over the allegations involving hush money paid to adult film star Stormy Daniels.
These are the actual investigations that are being conducted against this president. The first one has just come into fruition.
They want to silence us, and they want to get rid of Trump.
Michael Corridon is an immigrant from Ireland.
We have to allow freedom to reign. If America falls, the world falls.
Whether left, right, or center, Americans tonight are looking for answers. In New York City, on a hectic and historic day, John Perrick, CitrusTV News.
And joining us now from outside the courthouse where President Trump was arraigned is Citrus TV political analyst Jake Morrell. Jake, good evening. Looking ahead, what is the outlook on this case if it ends up going to trial? And who are the key witnesses?
Luke, good evening. And if this case goes to trial, it could be a very interesting one. We learned in grand jury that David Pecker, the former CEO of American Media, claims that he paid off Karen McDougal, a former Playboy model, in another alleged affair with Trump. And speaking of those key witnesses, Michael Cohen, of course, the former Trump lawyer, could testify. He was in prison from 2018 to 2021 for making the original hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. So if this case goes to trial, it could be a fiery one.
This is a historic day, and are we going to see anything like this case again in the near future?
You know, Luke, this is absolutely a historic day. The first time in U.S. history that a sitting or former U.S. president has been criminally indicted, but we could see this happen again in the near future. Trump is still facing the January 6th probe. He's still facing the Mar-a-Lago documents case, and he's also still facing an election denial case in Georgia. So absolutely a historic day today, but we could see another indictment coming in the next few months or years.
From that Manhattan courtroom and into the court of public opinion, we've seen intense political reaction both nationwide and on the ground today. Besides the former president, who else was in New York for this arraignment?
You know, Luke, as John mentioned, it was a hectic scene here this morning. I'm actually standing in between the barrier that the NYPD put up between the pro-Trump protesters and the anti-Trump protesters. But we saw a lot of different politicians here today riling up either base. On the Republican side, we saw Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. We also saw Representative George Santos of New York. And on the Democrat side, we saw Representative Jamal Bowman of New York. So lots of big political players here in New York City today. But that's all I've got. Reporting live on this historic day from New York City, Jake Morrell, Citrus TV News.
Jake, Luke, thank you so much. Citrus TV will continue to provide updates as they come in on Citrus TV News live at 6 tomorrow night.
The city of Syracuse is taking another step in its 5-year-long attempt to remove the Christopher Columbus statue from downtown Syracuse. The hearing yesterday in the state Supreme Court was mostly about the character of Columbus and whether the statue is offensive or honorable.
Well, the Columbus Monument Corporation saying the statue is in the public art collection and it's in good shape, but the city says it's all premature as their plan still needs to go through several steps, each of which could alter the decision.
Yeah, and local judge Donald Greenwood and preceding judge Gerald Wallen both recused themselves from the case of conflict of interest, but neither gave a specific reason. The decision is expected Friday, April 28th at the earliest.
Well, the latest now. The death toll rose to 32 people this past weekend after 80 deadly tornadoes hit the South and Midwest. Houses, businesses, and entire towns were destroyed across 5 states. Thousands of people were without power.
Yeah, severe storms are expected to return to the area tonight and tomorrow. People in the region between Texas and Wisconsin are under major threats. Cities in Iowa are also under moderate risk.
The Biden administration has declared a large section of the country as major disaster areas and is freeing up federal funds and resources for recovery.
Yeah, and Nicole, you know, we talk about this severe weather, and now every now and then we get snow here and we complain, but I mean, that's nothing compared to these
nothing
extremes.
Compared to what they're doing. We're sending all our best to the South and Midwest.
Exactly.
But turning to our first look at our weather, there's no snow, thankfully, here in Syracuse. Some rain, some warmer temperatures, hopefully.
Hopefully something good coming in the near future. Ronnie, Parrillo, what do we got?
Well, Walker and Nicole, absolutely our hearts do go out to all of those impacted by those tornadoes. Thankfully here in central New York, though, things are pretty calm. Right now we're looking at 54 degrees here in Syracuse and more under cloudy skies. Nothing too much in the way of rain right now. That will, however, make its way in overnight. Tonight will fall to a low of about 46 degrees under mostly cloudy skies tonight. And for tomorrow, those April showers do move into our area, but we're going to see above average temperatures. We'll top off at about 70 degrees tomorrow near 2 p.m. So definitely keep the umbrella and the raincoat on standby. This really isn't going to be a day where they're kind of on and off showers. It's going to be more of a constant day that feels like late May here in central New York. So it's going to be a wet one tomorrow. Same thing for Thursday, but things do look better for the long weekend. Guys, back over to you.
Ronnie, thank you. Last month, a new plan by the White House was enacted to help prospective FHA home buyers with their mortgages. Citrus TV's Adam Campos spoke to a loan officer and his clients about how the charge has already impacted the process.
As U.S. home values reached an all-time high in 2022, the White House made the move to cut mortgage insurance rates from 0.85 to 0.55. The rate drop was made to help home buyers qualify for a higher loan amount and save them money on their mortgage payment. How much a buyer can save all depends on the purchase price. For a $200,000 home, buyers can save up to $600 per year. In Syracuse, the average home value is at just over $150,000, which means buyers here on average can save around $460 a year. Kim Ayers is currently searching for a home, and when her loan officer told her about the savings from the new plan, she was ecstatic.
It's kind of exciting because, who doesn't like to save money? Anytime you feel like you're keeping more and not giving it away to somebody else is always a good thing.
The reduced mortgage insurance is a big help to prospective home buyers like Ayers, but after talking to Josh Pinard of Paragon Home Loans, Inc., he said the lack of home supply is still making it difficult for people to find a home today. According to a report from Greater Syracuse area realtors, home listings this February were down just over 24% compared to last February. Pinard said because of the lack of listings, it means more offers are going to a singular home. And because more offers are going to a single home, the ratio of conventional to FHA offers accepted is closer to 80% to 20% rather than the norm of 60% to 40%.
Well, Adam, it sounds like the real estate market, despite the help, it's still competitive. So what can prospective buyers do to navigate this, competitive market?
Well, after I talked to Pinard, he said the best thing that they could do right now is just to stay calm and make sure to have these conversations about figuring out what type of house, what price for a house fits best in your budget. The new FHA plan, it's going to be great help, but at the same time, since it's such a competitive market, it's hard to really see whether that offer is even going to be accepted and what house range or what price range it's going to get accepted in. So right now he says stay calm and just make sure to have the right conversations with your realtor and with your loan officer.
Adam, thank you so much.
Of course.
University students learn how to properly administer Narcan.
In just a few minutes, Syracuse University's community iftar will begin. Stay tuned.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
All right, you guys can come in.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner! Go?
Excellent. Soccer is fun. Yeah, I saw you guys out there.
You're watching CitrusTV News live at 6 with Nicole Aponte, Walker Simmons, and Ronnie Parrillo. Now, your campus news leader continues.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Well, tonight, SU is hosting Iftar under the moonlight. Muslim students are invited to partake in a Ramadan dinner. We go now live to Citrus TV reporter Cora Maricosta. She's in the Shine Student Center with more. Cora?
Good evening, actually, Nicole and Walker. It's Ramadan, and here to celebrate it is the Muslim Student Association. I'm joined by sophomores Mian Muhammad and Nahid Kalam. Now, guys, can you please preview the event for me, and what is iftar?
Well, first of all, Ramadan is the 9th month of the Muslim calendar. We follow the lunar calendar, and it is a time where Muslims all around the world, they would fast from before dawn up till sunset. And they abstain from food, water, and we also try our best to abstain from doing like any form of transgression or sins. We try to enjoin good and forbid the evil. Now, iftar is basically the meal in which we are going to break our fast with, and suhoor is the meal that we begin our fast with. So we have this event set up for Muslims in the well, not just in the Muslim Student Association, but for the community as well.
So we usually do community iftar, also known as iftar under the moonlight, to highlight our community here on campus, also to invite anyone on campus to join us and have a iftar with us. It's also to promote our diversity within the community.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear. Thank you guys so much. Reporting from Goldstein, I'm Cora Maricosta.
Cora, thank you. Today marks the first day of SU's annual International Student Career Week. Citrus TV reporter Anna Salevich has more on its expected impact.
Immigration status, networking, career plans, interview skills, and etiquette are just a few of the many topics International Student Career Week aims to explore. SU Career Exploration Specialist Dan Pack says he hopes the week gives international students some of the tools they need to succeed in finding work in the U.S.
International Student Career Week for us is a way to support our international students. Coming in, international students have more obstacles in front of them. If you want to make an analogy of hurdles that they've got to go over in order to find work here in the U.S. So there's a lot more to it. So we do this every year in order to try and make their life a little bit simpler.
PAC encourages students to start participating in career services events as soon as possible. International student Anushka Golpadas says the Career Week could provide useful information for her peers.
Obviously, when you come to a new environment, it's a little harder to understand where you belong and what you want to do. So I think going to a career fair, understanding what work functions like in different places and what opportunities you have available is incredibly important, and that could be helpful just in terms of not only getting a job, but figuring out what you want to do.
Golpadas says having contacts in the international space is important and that she's grateful SU introduced her to so many other international students during her freshman year orientation. There will be 5 events throughout the week, and registration can be found on SU's website. For Citrus TV News, I'm Anna Salevich.
Well, warm temperatures and humidity making tomorrow feel more like May. I'll have your full forecast coming up. You're watching Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, This is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Well, you've all heard the phrase April showers bring May flowers. Okay, these are fake. These are silk. But tomorrow, if you have any plants that you're, wanting to put out for spring in your yard, it will be the day to do it because temperatures will be 70 degrees and a lot of rain tomorrow. So it's going to be great for that grass and those plants that are in season and in bloom right now. But right now, if you want to throw the Frisbee out to your dog, tomorrow, unfortunately, won't be the day for that. A better day for flowers outside. Thursday, things, not too great. Spotty showers on and off. But Friday, you got a better chance as the temperature does dip, but it will be a sunny day. So, like I said, rain tomorrow on and off through Thursday. Rain more constant tomorrow. Friday, things do clear. And Saturday, again, a very, very nice day. Sunday for the Easter holiday, it is just going to be, honestly, ideal here in central New York. 63 degrees with sunny skies. Just a great day to get outside. Maybe do an Easter egg hunt in your backyard, and those flowers will be probably looking pretty good. So Walker and Nicole, back over to you guys.
Ronnie, thank you. Yesterday kicked off National Public Health Week, and Syracuse University is hosting events all week to celebrate and educate.
Well, tonight and tomorrow, Fall College is partnering with the Onondaga County Health Department to register free Narcan training. Our Annalise Piemonte is there now. Annalise, good evening.
Onondaga County has faced a recent spike in opioid and narcotic overdoses in the past year. Narcan is a life-saving and also legal drug that can reduce the symptoms of overdose. Tonight I'm here with Professor Gugarty, who has worked as a clinician with emergency medicine herself, and she's going to answer a few questions while Syracuse University students learn how to properly administer Narcan. So, Professor, why do you think that it's important for students to learn how to properly use Narcan?
I think it's important for students to understand how they can save another student's life or another community member, and having that knowledge will increase access to Narcan and increase potentially saving lives.
Yeah, and then do you think that taking actions like these trainings, will help to destigmatize drug addiction in the community?
Absolutely. Getting people to better understand what drug addiction is and how we can use Narcan to help improve people's lives and save their lives is really important.
Yeah. If you would like to also train to learn how to administer Narcan, you can attend sessions tomorrow at 10 and 11. Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm Annalise Piemonte, Citrus TV. Back to you guys.
Coming up in sports, we've got a playoff push on our hands, but the clock is ticking for the Buffalo Sabres. Plus, today was home opening day for the Syracuse Mets. The weather didn't get the memo, but the Mets defense certainly did. We'll get into that and much more after the break.
Here's to the straggly ones, the lopsided ones, the first ones, the I miss my beard ones. But hey, I look good with this ones. But no way he's grown that in a week ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. That one. The itchy ones. The never forgotten ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The started late ones. The absolutely filthy ones. The drawn on ones. The finger ones. The pin ones. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones. And the yeah, why not ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Only 7 games remain in the regular season, and the Sabres have some ground to make up in the wild card chase. Welcome into sports. I'm John Eads. Buffalo has realized its sense of urgency over the past week and really kicked things into high gear. The Sabres have won 4 of their last 5 games, but still have some work to do here in April. Now, the 2 coveted wildcard spots are certainly still attainable. The Islanders and Penguins currently claim the open slots, but here's something to keep in mind. Every team you see on the screen has played 2 or more games than Buffalo. So starting tonight, the Sabres can start chipping away at the deficit in a matchup with the Panthers. Face-off from the Sunshine State is slated for 7. In football news, a former Orange landed on Todd McShay's latest mock draft for Syracuse football. Matthew Bergeron, an offensive tackle for Syracuse, projected to go pick 60 to the Cincinnati Bengals. If he goes there, he would be Syracuse's highest draft pick since Justin Pugh when he went in the first round back in 2013. The NFL draft is slated to begin on April 27th. On the diamond, the Yankees look to keep the bats busy, and the wind's coming just a little bit. The Bronx Bombers have certainly lived up to their namesake as of late. How about 5 homers over the past 2 days and 14 runs between wins over the Giants and Phillies? As a Detroit Tigers fan, I have to say, very jealous. I'd be happy with just 1 singular long bomb. Anyways, here's a preview of tonight's game, the second of a 3-game clash between New York and Philly. Aaron Judge looks to extend his hit streak to 5 games early in the 2023 campaign, and Domingo German is set to make his first start of this season for the Yanks. The action gets underway just after 7 later tonight. So one of New York's teams is exploding at the plate. The other, well, not so much. The Brewers blanked the Mets 10-0 yesterday. The Amazons mustered just 3 bases in the losing effort. New York hopes for more production at the dish tonight. First pitch for Game 2 in Wisconsin is slated for 7:40. From the New York Mets to the Syracuse Mets, Dick Scott and company put on a defensive clinic in their home opener this afternoon. The Mets limited the Red Wings to a measly 3 hits. Meanwhile, Syracuse racked up 8 in a 5-0 win. Carlos Cortez led the Mets with a pair of hits and an RBI. Syracuse moves to 2-2 with the victory.
Well, Johnny, it sounds like a great game, even though the weather wasn't there, but yeah.
It was. I mean, the defense was good. The weather was not great.
Hey, speaking of weather, when we come back, Ronnie Parrillo has one last look at your weather.
Welcome back. Well, with those temperatures, I'll tell you, you might want to be like those baby goats in that commercial there, dancing all over tomorrow. But the bad news is there will be some rain. Good news, when you step out the door tomorrow, not at first. So 55 degrees as you head to class tomorrow morning. Cloud cover throughout central New York, but the temperatures will rise, so will the rainfall. Definitely a day to take the raincoat and umbrella. Walker and Nicole, back over to you two.
Well, Ronnie, thank you. That is all the time we have today on Citrus TV News.
For more of the latest, follow us on Citrus TV News on Twitter or check us out online at citrustv.com.
And for all of us on Citrus TV News, I'm Walker Simmons.
I'm Nicole Aponte. Have a great night, Syracuse.